Welcome to my meditation reading space. I'm going to share a bit with you about the mystical Shaman Oracle. The box has a beautiful protective slide-off cover. When you open the box, you immediately find an important truth. Before there was time, before there was language, there were sacred symbols. And those sacred symbols are what this deck is all about. As you can see, there is a green ribbon to help you pull the guidebook out of the box. The ribbon also helps to pull out the deck itself. Even inside the card box, they added a ribbon to get out the cards. This deck is really well done. It's well made and beautiful. Just to give you an example of how synchronicity and messages from cards can work, I want to share with you a quick story about how something happened to me last week. It was a bit weird. I think a bald eagle may have actually listened to me. My husband and I were up north in Michigan at a cabin that we rented. We saw a large bird diving at smaller birds out in the water. So my husband grabbed the binoculars and we went out onto the deck, immediately heard screaming in the water. It was a bald eagle diving at a duck mother and her ducklings. It was trying to steal one of her babies. The mama stayed above water and kept telling her babies to dive under whenever the eagle came back. Without even thinking, I pointed at the eagle and yelled, "You be nice!" Standing there in my pajamas, I just yelled at the eagle, and the eagle immediately flew away. I thought it was a weird coincidence for sure. In my mind, I couldn't really believe that a wild animal actually listened to me. But I have always had a weird connection to nature. So I came in the house to do a reading for myself with this deck, and these two were the first cards that came up. Coincidence? Maybe. Synchronicity? Maybe. If you don't know, the eagle is the bird that flies closest to heaven. Above all the other birds, it flies the highest, believed by shamans to be able to carry messages to heaven. And it can see with clarity over all situations. Maybe the eagle did hear me in my anger that it was picking on baby ducks. Who knows? Interesting story, though. Let's get back to the rest of the deck. The Council is one of the cards I mentioned that was like recalling a lost memory for me. I first learned about the Council the night my grandfather died. It was a bit surreal for me to read such a similar description in a deck. As you can see, there are many truly beautiful cards in this deck. I've quickly broken the cards down into groups for the purposes of giving you an idea of what's included in this deck. You may have done it differently, and some cards could be in multiple groups. This group I've called the Elements, and two of these cards have been essential messages to me. The Holy Mountain and the Heart of the Sky. I keep sticky notes on my computer monitor with reminders of their messages. The Heart of the Sky says, "You are a channel for the original energy of creation. Become the paintbrush, the canvas, and the artist, all guided by the heart of the sky. Set your intention ethically and clearly, and allow the universe to take care of the details." The Holy Mountain says, "Walk with courage, love, and compassion until you see with clarity the perfection of all." This set I refer to as archetypes that we can be ourselves, personas we can inhabit. However, they are also ones we can connect to in spirit as helpers, guardians, or wise ones. This set I consider to be different aspects of our journey, or the journey itself. These, of course, are helping spirits or messengers. These are places we can visit on our journeys. All of these are tools and blessings that we can use along our path. And this group I consider to be actions that can be taken. One last thing I want to mention is this card, because I know it may be scary for some people, but it's not what you might think. I want to read to you from the actual guidebook that goes with this deck. As I mentioned in the blog post that goes with this video, each card has 3 parts to it. There's the essence, which is the real part of the card, the actual meaning. And then there's the invitation, which is the upright meaning. And then there's the medicine, which is the reverse meaning, or the medicine that you might need to help you with the card. So let's go with the essence first. The essence of the curse refers to the limiting stories of our ancestors and the karma from former lifetimes that preordains the events of our lives. It is the source of negative patterns, and it can show up as disease, a destructive force, or a blockage on our creative energy. The curse holds us hostage to a false story that we confuse for reality. Recognizing the original wound that is playing out in our life can heal it. The invitation. It is time to recognize the source of your limitations. Did your grandparents live with a mindset of scarcity? Did you inherit genes for heart disease? Were you a slave or a master in a past life? This karmic legacy is ready and waiting to be seen, to be untangled, and to be released. Honor the players and their stories. Forgive everyone and everything. Craft a new life course for yourself. The medicine. Now this is the part you would read if the card was reversed. Be aware of your actions. Act with impeccable intention so as not to create a debt of karma that sooner or later someone has to pay. What you do to others, you also do to yourself and to other people you love the most. Now you have the opportunity to clean it up. So as an example, something that might be a curse within a family. In my family, you could consider the curse of physical abuse to be a family curse. But I broke that cycle, so I broke the curse within my personal family. What this deck refers to as a curse is really a negative energy or a negative cycle that is bound to you in some way. Another thing I mentioned in the blog post that accompanies this article is how I get a lot of information from the images in the card when I do readings. The shadowy hand across her face in this image really stands out to me, and being silenced has been a major battle in my own life. I think I may have just received a personal message about something I need to keep working on. It's definitely something I can see in my own family history. As you may know, my own ancestors are both Native American and Romani Gypsy. Both are heritages that have been brutally silenced. I hope you've enjoyed this review of the Mystical Shaman Oracle card deck. Have a wonderfully blessed day.